Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. Shir sponsor L'Ilui Nishmas Aaron B'Yaakov Shalom Now B'Sitzchok. We are holding in Shavuos Daf Chofei. We got to the Mishnah of Chofei Amud Aleph. The Mishnah a few lines down in Amud Aleph. Let's look at the Mishnah. Echad Dvarim Shel Atzmoi V'Echad Dvarim Shel Achem. We talk about Shavuos Bitui. The concept, the idea that a Shavuos, which is a Shavuos Bitui, is that the person does a Shavuos. Which type of Shavuos we're talking about? So the Mishnah says it can be Dvarim Shel Atzmoi, regarding himself. Echad Dvarim Shel Achem, where he's doing Shavuos regarding other people. Echad Dvarim Sheyesh B'Hem Mamish. Echad Dvarim She'ein B'Hem Mamish. What is Sheyesh B'Hem Mamish? We mentioned an example right before, a few lines ago. We learned it in the morning. That Dvarim She'ein B'Hem Mamish is Sheina, sleeping. Rashi brings another example of Mamish that there's no usage. For example, saying I'm going to take a vessel and throw it to the sea. Well, what am I gaining? What am I accomplishing? That's also Dvarim She'ein B'Hem Mamish. Keitzad, now we bring an example for Dvarim Shel Achem. What is Dvarim Shel Achem? Amar Shavuos She'eten Leish Ploini V'Shelo Yiten. It says a Shavuos that I will give to that person, or I will not give to that person. Shirasati V'Shelo Yisati, or past tense. I gave, I didn't give. Sheishot Shelo. That's the example of Dvarim She'ein B'Hem Mamish. Sleeping and not sleeping is not tangible. Shirasati V'Shelo Yisati, past tense. She'ezuk Tzor Layam V'Shelo Yizrok. Again, according to Rashi, that's Dvarim She'ein B'Hem Mamish, because I have no usage throwing a piece to the sea. Shezarakti V'Shelo Zarakti. Shmuel Loimer Ein Chayav Ela Lo Sidlo. This we mentioned already in Perikama, right at the beginning of the Masechta. That Shmuel holds you don't have Shavuos on the past, only in the future. Why? Shenemar lehara or lehetiv. That's Lashon future tense. Lehara or lehetiv. Mular bekiva in ken ein li advarim sheyesh b'hem haro ve'atov. That's only if you midday from the pasuk. It says lehara or lehetiv Lashon oti osid. So I speak about only ra v'toiv, only bad and good. Dvarim she'ein b'hem haro ve'atov. What about things that have no good? We don't have both effects of good and bad. As we'll see in the Gemara, the examples, it not necessarily can be good and bad. Minayin. The Torah is mirabit. Why? Because it says in the Pasuk, Rashi brings right away, whatever a person says in his words. It says the Gemara, once you say this riboy, the Torah is adding more stuff. So add everything. So add also the past tense. Says we have something that Adar is more common than Shavuos, something that Shavuos is more common than Adar. Nedarim is chal on mitzvah like Rishus can be also on a mitzvah. Mashen can be Shavuos. Chorim b'Shavuos sheShavuos chals adover shein mamamish kedover shein mamamish. Mashen can be Nedarim by Shavuos even something which is not tangible, and by Nedarim not. Why is that so? So one way to understand it, that's the second pshat of Taisus, and that's really the lashon of the Gemara in the Nedarim that base. That's a pasuk of the Gemara's meaning. And it fits. The first pshat of Taisus have to say a little differently. Second pshat of Taisus goes with it very clearly. Nedarim is always, according to the second pshat of Taisus, on the chefza. When I'm noider the item. I'm saying this item will come usher on me or on everybody else, but it's an item. I'm saying this item is usher. I'm noider that this kikar ze'alai, so this bread becomes usher on me. It's on the chefza. It's on the item. Shavuos is on the gavra, so the person. Shavuos is I will not eat. I will not do. I will not have. So Mimela what? Mimela that explains already. By a mitzvah, I can't tell myself don't do a mitzvah. I told you to do a mitzvah. It's already but I'm saying not that I'm not going to do a mitzvah. I'm saying this item is also on me. This sukkah is also on me. It's not that I'm not doing the mitzvah. This item is also on me. That's how it works in the mitzvah. That's also the reason Dvarim She'ein B'Hem Mamish. I can't say neder until it's not tangible. I want to make this thing also. Sheino, sleep, is not tangible. But if it's on me, I won't sleep. I can do whatever action I want, including sleep. That's the difference between the two. That's the Poshim Shat. And Shurba Shon Nadav, Be'ez Hashem, we'll go back to what we spoke about in the beginning of the Dime, that the Rishonim speak about that where in neder, the other comes from a higher place in the world in Shvuah. Shvuah is Loshed Shiva, which is the world of 7. Neder is coming from a higher place, and that's why there's a chiluk between them. which we'll get to. My 8. What does it mean I'll give? Maybe you say a shvuah that won't give tzedakah. So the Gemara, Mushba Vayim Marasina. What do you mean? You have a shvuah. The shvuah is Mushba Vayim Marasina. Shene'emar nasoin titen loy. How can you say a shvuah that will not give tzedakah? It's against the Torah. Ela matana le'osher. Talk about someone giving a gift to an usher. That's not included. She'isha mishlo yisha. Said the way someone who does a shvuah and won't sleep for 3 days, what do? You give him malchus. Why? Because it's impossible that he will not sleep for 3 days. Says more very simple. There he said 3 days. Here he didn't say 3 days. So I won't sleep now. I'm not going to sleep forever. The more the Avri understood, he said I'm not going to sleep forever. Not sleep forever. That's already something you can't do. They meant that I won't sleep right now. The Shem Shmuel says something very fascinating. He says that Legabe Sheno, the word tells us the Sheno cannot be, you can't say I'm not going to sleep for 3 days. Why? Because Sheno, you can't pass 3 days without sleeping. Achilo, how long can a person say I'm not going to eat? So it's well done Chazal, 7 days. So Achila is 7 days and Shena is 3 days. Says the Sheshvul, why? Because Shena, here we have a doctor over here, so I'll tell you what the Sheshvul said to see if it fits with modern medicine, that Shena goes to the brain. It's not for the body, it's not for the physical life. You also rest, but it goes to the brain. It goes for what the Seichel needs. That's Shena. Achila is for the body. So the body can survive 7 days, the brain can survive 3 days. Says the Sheshvul, says that's also regarding Ruchnis. Torah, we can't survive without 3 days. That's what we read the Torah, Sheni v'chamishi, shlevu shloisha yomim b'lei Torah. Physical ruchnius is what? We can't have 7 days without Shabbos. So that's the physical ruchnius. If you have the spiritual ruchnius, you have the physical ruchnius, also equivalent to that. Says the Gemara, she'ezuk tzor layam shelo ezuk. So Gemara itmar, shvuah shezorak ploini tzor layam v'shelo zorak. The person says shvuah that not me, that Shmerel threw something to the water, or he didn't throw something to the water.
What can you do with somebody else?
It's something else. Somebody else. More so we spoke with somebody else, but we're talking about regarding him throwing something. Rabba Machayev Shmuel Mapat. Rabba Machayev Isa Belaved. Here's going to the Aved. Can I say yes and no? Yes. I could say he threw, or I could say he did not throw. I could say both.
Yeah, but it could be a piece of junk, right? What I mean, so
yeah, whatever it is. Whatever it is. The shvuah doesn't matter, because it's not a shvuah. It's not, exactly, if it's worthless. The shvuah is, here's shvuah sabitu. I said shvuah, something, it doesn't have to have a monetary value. Shmuel Omar Potu, Leisi Belabo. You can't do a shvuah in the future, right? Why is that not possible? Can I say shvuah that Shemerel will throw a item? You can't do that. How do you know what he's going to do? It doesn't depend on you. Shvuah means I guarantee that's what's going to happen. How can you guarantee it? You never know if he's going to do it or not. So on the future, it's impossible to do the shvuah. I can't do it. And what?
someone else.
Yeah, someone else. Yeah. So therefore, says Shmuel, I can't speak about the future. Every shvuah needs to have the requirement to be past and future. We'll see more in a moment why. Because as we saw in our Mishnah, that Rabbi Kiva says Rabbi Shmuel has to be only in the future. It can be also the past. One right now understands, more is going to build it up, that you have to have both, the option of past and future, the same way you have to have the option of yes and no. It has to be yes and no, meaning there will be l'chiyuv v'l'schus. Oichal v'lo yochal, he'll eat and won't eat. He will eat, he ate, he did not eat. Could it be future? I can't say future. That's what the shvuah does not work, that's what Shmuel says. So what we saw in the Mishnah. Now the Gemara is interesting. Usually the Gemara doesn't do that. The Gemara is quoting the Mishnah, and the Gemara is going to bring out like a few lines of the Mishnah, which really you could just say b'chulei. But what is it? If the shvuah is only on the future, relative. According to you, only things has bad and good. According to you, how are you going to include that? I'm going to read because it says Lechol asher yivat. I'm going to read right? So, what does one understand at this moment? According to Rabbi Akiva, I don't need to have all. According to Rabbi Akiva, I need to have all the options. I need to have past and future the one understands that according to Rabbi Akiva, I can have future, I can have past. It's either, I can have both. Shavuos says I have to have future. So you know this is more like this. Rav that says that in our case that he spoke about the past is good enough even though you don't have future. It's according to Rabbi Akiva, the whole past works. For Shmuel, that I must have future. Past doesn't work. So the more no. Now this is really a strange meaning because according to Rabbi Shmuel, it's not because it doesn't work in the future. It's because it's because I never passed. There's no Shmuel in the past. According to Rabbi Shmuel, you never have Shavuos Bitu in the past. Oh, right? Says the Gemara. Says the Gemara. Aliba the Rabbi Shmuel kula amul pli. According to Rabbi Shmuel, clearly you can't do the fast. Something that you could be in the future. He says the past you're not chayav. This is the latest level, so you don't have in the future. You buy it, of course you're not chayav in the past. Now, according to Rabbi Shmuel, no shayla. This you're not chayav. Keep liga liba de Rabbi Akiva. Rav ke Rabbi Akiva. Rav looks like Rabbi Akiva. Akiva says you can't pass. I have passed. Shmuel Omar. Rabbi Akiva that says you can be chayav in the past is if you could have future. So you chayav Rabbi Akiva l'shovar. So you chayav also in the past. So that's what I want to say. Says the Gemara. Rabbi Akiva says, and this really goes back to the Mishnah and it fits very nicely. Akiva says, I need to have the option to have both. Meaning, Rabbi Akiva says, Shmuel in the past works, not only in the future. It says Shmuel, but only if it could be in the future. Similar to what Rabbi Akiva asked Rabbi Shmuel, when it says La Ve'eng, there has to be that option. So this, I need to have the option to have it in the future. If I have the option to have it in the future, so then it works in the past as well. But if I don't have the future option, I won't have the past option. That's what Shmuel learns. Rav says, no, if I have past is good enough. Says the Gemara, Leimo beflukto, says the Gemara that Chafayim with base, Tiabi Yudu ben Meser v'Rabbanan. This machlekes is a machlekes Yudu Meser v'Rabbanan. What's the machlekes Yudu Meser v'Rabbanan? Did not. Come here, please. Did not. Nishba levatel et mitzvah v'loy bitel. Someone did a shvua, I won't do the mitzvah. Right? I won't put on tefillin. Potter. He's potter. Why? The shvua doesn't work. The Torah says to put it, you can't go against the Torah. Lekayim es mitzvah v'loy kiyim. Potter. Someone says, I'm going to do a shvua to put on tefillin. The shvua doesn't work because he already made shvua v'loy marasina. Shayabedin. You should think that really it should work. Why? Sheichav. Can you very read the Beseir? Like Rabbi Beseir said, Omar, Rabbi Beseir, Umaim, Arishus, Sheinu Mushbal Marasina, Harichav Aleo, something that I'm not obligated to do, Marasina. If I did a shvuah, I'm chuyev. Mitzvah, Shemushbal Marasina, you did Sheikhav Aleo. So of course you should be chayav. Because if I have a shvuah, even more so, it should be stronger. So there we are saying I can say no, I can say yes. Why? Because I can say I won't do it, I can say I will do it. I will eat an apple, I won't eat an apple. That you could do. But by mitzvah, to do a mitzvah, I can understand that shvuah will work. Meaning, I want to tell you, Torah told me to do mitzvah tefillin. I put a shvuah. We'll get to that later in the Masechta. I'll do a shvuah to be kind in the mitzvah. It says it makes sense. It should work. I already have a shvuah. It's called it should work. Yeah, but I can't say no. I can't say shvuah not to do the mitzvah. That goes against the Torah. So it's only b'chein, not b'lav. So what do you see from here? According to Rabbi Yehuda ben Meseiro, I need to have. Rabbi Yehuda says, I can have yes without a no. It's fine. But it's saying no, you can't have a yes without a no. Right? That's the machlekes with the say Rabbanan. So that's machlekes Rav Shmuel over here. Rav that says I cannot pass without the future. He is like if you do Meser that can say I have a yes without a no. And according to Rabbanan, not Rav the Omar can do Meser. Shmuel Omar can Rabbanan. Saying well, Alima the Meser kulam lepliki. According to Rabbi Meser, for sure, they're not arguing that what the Rebbe said works only according to Rav. He doesn't need to have yes and no, so of course he doesn't have to have past and future. Shmuel goes like a Rabbanan very clearly. Rabbanan say you need to have yes and no, so you also have to have past and future. But Rabbanon, they need to have yes and no because it says clear in the pasuk, to harm or to benefit. That's no and yes. That only comes to the ribui. That you learn, it says in the future, from there you learn to the past. You have only one of them. So Gemara says that that may be the chiluk. According to Rebbe saying, well, you don't have to have both. Yeah, one is good enough. According to Rabbanon, you need to have both by yes and no. But maybe you don't have to have both by future and past. Says the Gemara, Meisi Ramnuno lo yachalti hayoim lo nachti tefillin hayoim. Person says, I did not eat today. I did not put on tefillin today. Says his friend, Mashbiachani. So his friend says, I want to do a shvuah. So I'm doing a shvuah that I did not eat and didn't put on tefillin. Chayav. It's chayav on it because if he was over, if he said something wrong, it's chayav shvuah's bitu. So when Shah passed, I said I did not eat. You could say I will eat in the future. But loy nachti is past. Loy niach is future. Can I say I won't put tefillin in the future? It's against a mitzvah. Can't do that. So you said, if you're telling me that you, in order to be chayiv, you have to have past and future, so why but tefillin it works? He asked the question, he has the answers. Let's do the time. Lo achalti lekorban, lo yinachti lemalchus. Legabei lo achalti, that's korban. Korban is past, future, that's where you have the requirements. But legabei lo yinachti, it's not for korban. For malchus. Malchus, you have chiyuv, even if you don't have both. When do you say you have the requirement to have past, future, yes, no? It's only for a korban, not for malchus. Meisi Rov. So Rov brings a question. Ezoi shvuas shav. Nishba l'shanis sayadu alod. The classic Shavuos Shav, according to what we saw, the second mandama that we saw earlier, is what is Shavuos Shav. He's lying about something which you know is true. What is it? He said a pillar of stone is made out of gold. Everybody knows that's not true. He's just saying something which is, it's a lie in front of you. Right? What does it mean, nikar l'gim? 3 people recognize that it's not gold. Meaning it's obvious. How do I know something's obvious? 3 people can tell you, oh yeah, this is not gold, this is stone. Who understands? If it's not nikar, meaning some people can mix up, it's white, you're not sure, is it gold or is it stone? I'm not so clear. The color is a little deceiving. So then the shvuah will be a shvuah. The one that says, which shvuah is that? Shvuah is bitui. A shvuah that you can lie, you can be punished for it. There's no future tense. Past tense, I can say this pole is made out. It's already made out of gold. Can I say this pole will be made out of gold? This doesn't make any sense. So if you require to have past and future, there's no future over there. That's shvuas bitui. Shvuas sheker. We learned before, what's Shav and what's Sheker? According to the second one earlier. Shav is something which is clearly a lie. Sheker is not clearly it's a lie, but it's a lie. You're not chayav al shvuas bitui korban. You chayav al shvuas sheker. You're going to get the mark of the shvuas sheker. Okay. So says the Gemara. Oh my. Okay, so shvuas sheker is something else just because of the lie, and the lie you get marcus for it, and that's the issue of shvuas sheker. It's not the idea of shvuas bitui. We have a korban, you have the requirement to have past and future. So now we're shifting a little bit to shvuas eidus. What is shvuas eidus? So the classic shvuas eidus is someone that says, Reuben comes to Shimon and says, do you know a testimony for me? He says, no. Shvua, I don't know. Then you find out he's lying. He knows. That's called Shvua Seidus, right? Now here you have, someone says to his friend, Shvua Shani Yordel Chedus. He said, Ashvua, I know an Eidus. He come to Beis to start investigating and see he doesn't know what he's talking about. Ishtaka the lo yodeli, the potter. Why? Hoyil v'leisa bichlal shein Yordel Chedus. Right? Because what? He cannot say, I don't know. If he says, I don't know, it's a Shavuos Eidus. It's not Shavuos Bitu. Past will go in a different category. Someone who says, I don't know an Eidus, he knows Eidus, he goes into Shavuos Eidus, which we'll get to soon in Masechta. He's Chayal Shavuos Eidus. It's different Shavuos. So when I say future, when I say I do know Shavuos Eidus, and it's a lie, it doesn't have, it's not l'shlila, it's not for no. It's only yes. It's a Shavuot that works for yes, a Shavuos Bitu. I know for you Eidus. I don't know. That's a Shavuot. But because you can't have it for the negative, because negative is under a different category, so therefore it's not Chayav according to Rav. Yadati v'lo yadati, past tense. Not your dad. Yadati. I knew in the past or I did not know, so then it's Machloek. The same Machloek is Rav Shmuel. Because if I know the past, but I can't speak the future. Past means, right? As Rashi says, Yadati v'lo yadati Machloekis. The Rav Shmuel, the Isi b'lavehen, you can say no and yes. You can't say the future. I know. If I know an Eidus, I will not testify to you. The past means it's already over. I knew an Eidus to you. I did not come. You figured it out without me. But I will not come in the future, or I don't know an Eidus for you in the future. That's a shvur you can't say for it, because that goes against the mitzvah. Hey, aditi v'lo yati machlekes. Also, regarding yati v'lo yati is a machlekes. Why? Because there you have a knowing yes, I testify at this side, but you don't have on the future. Because the future is I won't be testifying. That's again against the machlekes, against the mitzvah. So here comes the machlekes Rav Shmuel. What is Rav Shmuel arguing? If I could see something in the past, but not in the future, is that a shvur or not? Something what?
Sometimes the past is better than the present.
Yeah. But the machlekes Rav Shmuel is if I do a shvur in the past, which cannot be done in the future, is it chayav shvur or not?
What do you mean cannot be done?
Meaning you can't say in the future tense. Because the future tense goes against a mitzvah. For example, I say I didn't put a tefillin. But can I say in the future I will not put a tefillin? You can't say that. It's against a mitzvah. So what Bishul the Shmuel do Amil said the Leisa V'Label or Michai V'Leil Shovar. According to Shmuel, we say this rule. Anything in the future tense, I cannot say I'm the Machai in the past. That's what Torah says. Shavuos Eidus is out. Why? Because if not, I'll be chayav, right? I'm taking it out to tell you not chayav and all this. Look at Lo Shirashi. So when a person comes and says, I don't know for you an Eidus, you can't speak about the future. I will not know for you Eidus. Because not knowing for you this in the future, that goes against the Torah. I will not know for you Eidus. You're not going to testify if you know Eidus. You're going against the Torah. Torah says you have to testify. So, anything that I can't say in the future, I'm not having the past. So the Torah says, listen, Shavuos Eidus is different. Even though you can't testify in the future, because it goes against the mitzvah, you are chayav in the past. That's why, according to Shmuel, it was excluded. But according to Rav, why did the Torah take Shavuos Eidus and put it separately? Shavuos Eidus, it should be like any other Shavuos Bitui. Right? Just to understand again. We have two categories. Shavuos Bitui, Shavuos Eidus. What is Shavuos Eidus? Person goes to somebody else and says, do you know Eidus for me? He says, I do not know Eidus for you. He's lying. He has a special din Shavuos Eidus. Why do you need a special din Shavuos Eidus? He's lying. He should be chayav Shavuos Bitui. So Bishma according to Shmuel, because you can't say it in the future, that's why I have a special din for Shavuos Eidus. But according to Rav, if I don't care if you have the future or not, as long as you have the past, so you have the Shavuos, so why do you need a special din Shavuos Eidus? So I'll tell you why. Be chayav too. Be chayav because of Eidus, and be chayav because of Bitui. You can't say two. It's exactly because you have only one, not two. So why according to Abaye the Torah which was Eidus in its own category? Like the Tanya. I'll tell you for the following thing. It says v'ne'elom in Shavuos Bitui. He forgot about it. But here it doesn't say ne'elom. To tell you the b'Shavuos Eidus you chayav korban even for mezid. Shavuos Bitui you chayav only if it was b'shoigig. Made a mistake, then you bring a korban. But if it was b'mezid not. Mashiach Shavuos Eidus you do it even with mezid. That's why it's different. So 1 second. So according to you, why did you say amazing you have one, but b'shegi you have two? And maybe the one when it says the pasuk before la'achas me'ila refers only to amazing, not to shogig, right? So he says it says in the pasuk 1 not 2. Very simple. Just going back to the question. When a person does Shavuos Bitui b'mezid, is he chayav anything? What? No. Korban is only on shogig, not korban. Maybe he's chayav malchus, but he's not chayav korban. So there's no such thing as chayav korban by Shavuos. There's no such thing as chayav tarte. B'mezid, you're not chayav Shavuos Bitui. Anyway, so of course you chayav only one Shavuos Eidus. So when the Torah says you chayav one and not two, what we're coming to exclude? Shogig. That's clearly. So that's why you have that. So in other words, what does the Bai tell you? The Bai says, we have a question according to Rav. According to Rav, why does Shavuos Eidus take its own category? It's exactly like Shavuos Bitui. Bitui according to Shavuos, because I can't say future, I don't have past, so I need to have a new thing called Shavuos Eidus. But according to Rav, even if I don't have the future, I have the past, so why not need Shavuos Eidus? So the Bai, I'll tell you why. To be, at the beginning, we wouldn't say Chayav 2, it says it can't be Chayav 2. So why is it? It is to tell you that you Chayav even Memezid. That's what it is. You Chayav, by Shogig you Chayav only one, but you Chayav also Memezid. What does it mean? So look at Rashi. Rashi says, the first wide line in Rashi, you don't need a plus malachas until you have only one. When the fact that it says la'achas is not coming to tell you that you have only one for bitui and edus, we said before. It's only for bitui. That's what la'achas is going to tell you. If I did shvuah for all three, I have only one. Why? Right? Edus was included in bitui, like any other line, but not something new. What's something new? It has to be ru'uyim la'ayid u'bebeizim. Only people that are kosher to be edim, and only beizim. So Rabbi said, I don't need a pasuk for that. I'm chayav only because edim because beizim. It doesn't answer why. Why do I need to tell you edus and not bitui? Why? Rabbi doesn't address that. The point before I asked, why do I need edus on its own? It's already bitui. Rabbi does not answer this question. So Rabbi said the reason why you have edus and abitui, you have amazing. It could be a Rabbi agrees to that. Says, but why have one not two? It says lachas. Says Rabbi, I don't need for lachas. Once it's coming to be on its own, it's chayav only one. That's a klal in midrash shater in deshbem. Tovish yotzum nachlal is yotzum bechal dover chodesh el chabol chidush. Says the more mechlal the Abaye sovar isa l'shvuah b'oilo. Now according to Abaye, you need a pasuk. He says, I don't know on my own. I need a pasuk. Mashma the issue has shvuah b'oilo. In other words, when I say I don't know an edus, there's a Shavuos Bitui over here. So it tells you I have only one, not two. Right? So he says Rashi, what's up Kamina? Kamina is, let's say a person is pasul edus. Someone comes to his sister, to his sister's brother, says, you know any edus? He says, sure, I don't know any edus. It's not a Shavuos edus. Will it be a Shavuos Bitui? According to Abaye, yes. Because now I don't know Shavuos edus. Says the Gemara, some person tells me, I know I edus for you. You found out that that's wrong. The pato oil the lacy vein your edus. We said that you can't say the opposite. Person tells his friend, I don't know if you're edus, we just said before. Can he say I do know if you're edus? No, because it goes against the Torah. That goes against the Torah. But the case of when I say I don't know for you an edus, it's Shavuos edus. So therefore, if I tell you I do know for you an edus, you don't have it. So what do you see over here? You see from here that the Torah basically excluded completely Shavuos Bitu from Shavuos edus. Whenever a person says about edus, it's completely gone. Because in one case, I don't have Shavuos edus, it takes away all other scenarios of Shavuos edus. Look at the last Rashi Dama. The lace the shame Shavuos Bitu Shavuos edus. Why does Abaye say that according to Rav, there's no such thing of I don't know? It will be if you're a puzzle. You see, Abaye said there was never going to be such a thing. Someone says I know an edus, will be chayav. Why not? So Abaye changed his mind, and Abaye held that there is the shvuah. Abaye say Chad minayu without chavom without that. Chad minayu Rapapa. One of the Rapapa said. Rapapa is the one who said that he is because Abaye wrote Rapapa. Why is that? Taste brings over here that Abaye was no Yeshiva, and right after he was nifter Rapapa came to Yeshiva. So sometimes there was confusion. If Abaye said it and Rapapa mentioned that he mentioned the name of Abaye or his own, so that's what they got mixed up. It was Rapapa. So what does the Gemara say? The Gemara says comes the conclusion of the sugya. Abaye tells us. Let's start with Rav. Rav says, whenever you're speaking about edus, it doesn't matter kosher edus, not kosher edus. Edus, you don't have Shavuos Bitu. Yotzal do Dor Chodesh. It's out. There's no Shavuos Bitu. Abaye says there is Shavuos Bitu, but the Torah says you have only one, not two. So you have an edus, not a bitu. Mash, if you not be an edus, you will be a bitu. Says the Gemara, one second, but Abaye said that according to Rav, you never have a chayv of edus. Masha never. So the Gemara, and that's either Abaye changed his mind or that's Rapapa. Abaye and Rapapa argue. One of the Rapapa said. So there is Abaye that says, like Rava, whenever you speak edus, there's no bitu. And there's Abaye, or maybe Rapapa, or maybe the first one's Rapapa, that says that there is bitui unless you have both together, you have only one, not two, because that's the Sakasu, they have only one, and you're not chayav on two. Again, we're going back. This sugya is based on two components. Component number one was the Rav and Shmuel argue, if I can't say the future, do I have in the past? Right? And immediately got to the next machlokes, only the Baal Rava, is there such a thing as Shavuos Bitui when I have Shavuos Eidus? Second Rabbi side, we'll continue with Hashem from top there tomorrow, even at the same time. All two.